It's New Brew Thursday! Woo! And guess what we're doing today? Some new Glarus.
Some beer.
It's Wisconsin love.
I was just gonna say beer?
It's Wisconsin goodness.
Changing it up, we're doing wine today.
I actually, in reading about New Glarus, I was reading through some of the blogs and stuff online, and somebody, I can't remember what blog it is, so I apologize to this person if they're watching, but they referred to it as New Glarus Land. But then they put a disclaimer that said that doesn't actually exist. There is no adventure park full of beer cheese rides.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and I thought, God, that sounds like such a wondrous place. I want to go there.
Yeah. Take a ride on the Belgian.
So New Glarus, get on that. Thank you.
It's kind of like Duff Garden.
In the meantime,
craft beer version.
Yeah, exactly. And without the annoying Duff man following you around. So we're doing the double IPA. You can see the two I's.
IIPA.
IIPA. This is part of their thumbprint series of beers, which I assume thumbprint is small.
Yeah, exactly.
So
small.
Dan, their brewer over there, gets free reign to do as he pleases, which I always thought that's what brewers did anyway.
I wonder whose thumbprint is on the bottle.
That's a good question.
I have to believe that's just drawn, because although it would be interesting if I was a CSI person, I could like do it with my phone and send it to my cohorts back at my lab, and they'd be like, "We found a match in APHIS."
Yeah, whoever it is, the cops don't know who they are now.
Yeah. So
they're in a database somewhere.
But I will be, taking that fingerprint and molding it into some that I can wear, and when I shoot my gun at people, then it'll be whoever that is.
Someone is going to prison thanks to Steven Johnson.
I've never heard that sentence before. I'll pour you a beer, Matt, because I love you.
Appreciate that.
John's doing it out of obligation.
So I'm really excited about this beer. I've had a couple of other of their. I don't know if it was like actually the thumbprint series, but they did a bunch of small batch stuff. Like I had the iced barley wine.
Well, they have their unplugged series.
The unplugged.
Too.
That's
the
the one that I'm thinking.
New Glarus
of,
makes a lot of beer.
It
just seems like I don't even know what they make. That's like a staple.
Spotted Cow is one of their spots. Their raspberry tart.
Yeah.
Raspberry tart and Wisconsin Belgian red.
Yeah.
Those are the big beer geek ones.
Right.
Guess I'm not a beer geek.
And they have well, cheers to this.
Yeah.
And cheers
they
to
make
you.
a ton of beer.
I've missed you, Internet, since last Thursday.
This smells like a double IPA.
It does. It's got.
Well done, New Glarus. Your double IPA smells like a double IPA.
Not a WIPA.
A WIPA.
A whip.
Whoa. BT dubs.
It's nice. I mean, it's got a lot of, really nice citrus notes. It's a little spicy.
Kind of piney.
Yeah.
I like it. Overall, it's really, really interesting. It's a big beer. It's 9.75, but it doesn't come across. It's not angry.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's actually pretty light bodied.
Yeah, very smooth.
Yeah.
It's very dry. I like the dryness.
But it's nice because it's the bitterness doesn't really smash you in the face. Like a lot of really dry IPAs can. It's got a really nice balance to it. It's got a little bit of a biscuity quality to the malt.
It's kind of sweet too.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. That not in the way of sweet versus dry kind of thing, but it's kind of got some sweetness on it.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of
maybe I don't know if that's the hops maybe that I'm picking. Well,
it's got fruitiness to it. I don't know if I would personally call it sweetness. Maybe a little bit of sweetness in the back, but it definitely has a fruity character to it.
Well, the Maris Otter malt is going to provide some of that kind of sweet black.
Yeah. It's going to leave a little bit more residual sugar than just plain.
Do we know how much
base
Maris,
malt? What
Maris Otter is in it?
I don't. They didn't.
I got the impression that it was pretty much all Maris Otter with probably some coloring hops. That doesn't even exist. It's just it's Crayola. Awesome. It's a new brand of Crayola hops.
That would be fantastic.
I need some pink hops and a little yellow hop because I want to have a little sun in there.
You need a chartreuse hop.
So no, the coloring grains, I guess.
Yeah, color malts.
So
yeah, but actually that biscuity quality, that's what you get from the Maris Otter too. I really love Maris Otter as a base malt. It adds so much more character than just plain old two-row does, just because it's kilned a little bit.
You don't use Maris Otter, you use Golden Shane,
Golden
Shine,
Promise.
Golden Promise,
Shane.
Golden Shane, Golden Shower, whatever. Golden Shower grains.
Golden Chain sounds
don't
like
use
a
golden showered grains. That's gross.
Golden Chain sounds like an arena rock band from the 70s.
That would be awesome. I think they opened for Poison the last
It's like
time I was there.
with the dangly part.
Yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
imagine.
No, you'd have like Golden Chain and Golden Earring and
That's a real band, isn't it?
yes, it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what we should do now, while we go and watch YouTube videos of Golden Earring, apparently,
Golden showers.
is and no, we're not watching that.
It was even on YouTube.
I don't think that's allowed.
I think you have to sign in for that. So, but we're going to send you off to Master Pairings, where we can guarantee there will be no golden showers.
We can't
Just
guarantee
delicious food.
anything. Hey everyone, welcome to another Master Pairing with me, your host, Bill Sysak. Matt Becker's with us today. Hey Matt.
And you're not.
Yes, exactly. So we recently did a Master Pairing chicken and dumplings.
Which was delicious.
So today I've got a lot of calls for soups. Even though you can consider chicken and dumplings having a lot of the same flavor profiles as chicken noodle soup, I wanted to do a chicken noodle soup.
Chicken and dumplings more stewy.
Yeah, well, it's got definitely got the dumplings versus the noodles, but you'll see there will be a lot of the same flavor profiles.
Right,
a lot of the same herbs are added in, things like that.
Right.
It's just more thick.
Yeah, right.
Thicker
right.
ale.
Consistency.
So today, instead of doing a big golden ale, which we could do, or a triple, I thought I'd go back to the classics as a tribute to my counterparts and the fact that everybody seems to want to do Kolsch's and Pilsners. And we haven't done a Pilsner on Master Pairings for a while. So I thought we'd do this great new one by Great Divide called Nomad.
Excellent.
So let's open these bad boys up.
Yes, let's. And I love
There you go,
your lovely Pilsner glasses here. I have never seen these new Belgian Pilsner glasses before. I'm very excited. It's a good looking glass.
Yeah, they're nice glasses.
Yep. Classic, nice pale straw color.
Yeah, it's a beautiful beer.
Look at that.
Cheers. Beautiful carbonation. Looks like a glass of champagne.
Wonderful clarity, yeah. That's lovely.
Nice doughy nose.
Got some like noble hop spiciness.
Clean, crisp bitterness. Very nice.
That's lovely.
It's going to go beautifully
That's
with the
wonderful.
soup. Let's jump in there.
I'm excited. Let's hit it.
Classic chicken soup. Great for what ails you.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I should have an old Jewish grandma come up and just like offer this to us.
Right.
Because we're feeling ill.
Or some matzo soup.
Yeah, exactly.
Have some matzo balls in your chicken noodle soup.
Absolutely.
Great beer. Ooh, really brings out the carrot. That was amazing. I need to go revisit that. I wasn't expecting that as much. Once again, the crispness of a beer, just like I've said in the past about, for example, IPA and carrot cake, the way it brings out the carrots, it really brings out the carrot, the celery.
Yeah, definitely.
Crisp. Makes it well-rounded. Has a nice lingering bitterness at the finish.
Yeah.
The Pilsner still shines through.
Really in the back third, like the bitterness like tends to hit you more than it would normally when you have it after the soup.
Of course, works great with chicken. Clean, crisp beers are fabulous with chicken. You get a nice roasted chicken. A lot of times I'll recommend doing a slightly darker beer, maybe even a brown ale or a German Dunkel.
Right.
Something with a little, to match the roastiness of the chicken. But especially with when you have like a white meat or a chicken breast or something, there's nothing comparable to having a clean, crisp Pilsner or Kolsch.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's like we've had quite a string of like comfort food oriented Master Pairings lately, and it's nice because the Pilsner is that one of those just classic flavor profiles. It's like that those warm fuzzy memories. Drinking Pilsner on a hot summer day.
This is that classic Bohemian Pilsner, but definitely a German Pilsner would go just as well.
Sure.
And yeah, there's been a lot. I've been doing soups lately on a lot of the Master Pairings. The two most requested pairings that they're asking for out there are soups and cigars. So we've also brought back our cigar pairings, and we've been doing those, and those have been fun.
It'll be awesome.
So it's all a really good time. But a Pilsner, just a great beer, easy drinking in a pinch. if you can find a Pilsner laying around. When you're out places that don't have a huge craft beer selection, a Pilsner is always good, especially if it's a clean, crisp, well-crafted or craft Pilsner.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned Kolsch also being like a good pairing for this. How would that be different?
Well, Kolsch is a little sweeter, so it will match up a little more with the carrots and the natural sweetness in the carrots.
Okay.
So you notice with the Kolsch, you get that little more sweetness characteristic. It's not as bitter or clean.
Right.
And so it'll match up. It's kind of, think about how I did the chicken and dumplings episode where we did the Duvel. Kind of consider a Kolsch kind of a gateway heading towards the Duvel.
Okay.
So you can see how it could work too.
Sure.
And it's flexible.
Now,
it is sweeter, still low alcohol.
A little bit more residual sugar that's going to play out the vegetables a little bit more.
Yeah, it's going to actually be really nice. Still works great with the chicken and goes great with the broth. So it works really well. So yeah, great beer, great glass, great food.
Excellent.
Great friends. Cheers, Matt.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys, for coming to another Master Pairings.
So we're back from Master Pairings. And you notice we tried to take a little power nap because, we're all a little worn out.
I'm tired.
It's been a long weekend.
It really was.
It's not even over. It's only Saturday.
I know.
We're going to Equinox tomorrow.
Oh, I know. I'm like, God, no, let me just sleep.
Yeah, Friday night was enough of a long weekend for any human being.
Yeah, so if those of you who don't know, and you probably don't care, we said goodbye to a dear friend of ours, David, A330, the
He's
beer
been on
mule.
our show.
He's been on our show twice.
Yeah.
But he is, cheers to David, even though you don't watch the show. But he's been a good friend of ours. He's been responsible for quite a few of the beers that we had on here, and he's indirectly responsible for this beer as well because he did a trade with Hopperbolic on Twitter. I hope that's how you pronounce it.
I know that dude.
Yeah,
I've seen him around.
Ben from King, Wisconsin, who was like, "Hey, I'm going to send you some New Glarus beer," and Dave was like, "Cool, I'd love some New Glarus beer," and then got this box of like 40 New Glarus beers.
Yeah.
He was like, "Shit." So Dave was extremely excited, but then he had so much beer that he couldn't actually take it all home. So
weight limits.
We were like, "Hey, can we have 2 of those? Because we've never done New Glarus on the show." And Ben was happy enough to allow us to do them on the show.
It's
So
cool
thank you, Ben.
that we got to do the double IPA too, because as you know, IPAs are usually best when fresh.
Best
And
when
this
fresh.
tastes pretty fresh.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
I think so.
Getting back to the beer for a second though, I think this is a little different for a lot of the stuff you get from this part of the country.
Yeah,
this is
it's
more on the West Coast style, I think.
Right. I would actually, I would point this towards the direction of Hopsland, which is also from that part of the country. Michigan, Wisconsin. They're separated by lakes, but whatevs.
This is different, a lot different.
But it's a lot different as far as like the profile and stuff go. But I mean, it's still kind of that big, in your face West Coast style and in your face. But I still feel weird about calling it West Coast style because there's so many beers that are nowhere near the West Coast that are coming out this way now that I kind of feel like it's just the hoppier style of.
Yeah,
IPA.
it's just a double IPA. This is kind of like what double IPAs kind of are.
But we've all had double IPAs.
Double IPAs on the East Coast though are way more malt forward. They're not nearly as
I'm not
crisp
gonna say
hoppy.
where or by whom, but
So, yeah.
we've all had those IPAs that are like, maybe it's not fresh.
Yeah.
If it was fresh and that's what it's supposed to taste like, well, I guess that's their definition. Of an
A lot of malt with a dash of hops. Yeah,
I think for me it's when you're drinking an IPA and you get the sticky mouth.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
when I have the problem with it. And this doesn't, I mean, you get a little bit of that residual stickiness, but it's a lot drier, a lot more crisp than I would have expected.
I'm trying so hard to make a sticky mouth joke and it's just not coming.
Please don't. Save us this one time. Please exercise some self-control
I
for
thought of
God's
something,
sake.
but
Both of you stop.
along the lines of golden showers.
It's happened. It's happened.
But they're not golden.
I have been offended on this show. And as anybody who has ever watched a single episode of the show knows, that's damn near
I
impossible.
think anyone associated with us has been offended by us.
As a whole, yes.
Really?
So,
But anyway, I'm actually really excited to do New Glarus because New Glarus is historically, I came from Minnesota and, there was whatever. So there's like kind of a hometown feel.
Yeah.
Even though I don't claim it as my hometown. But we've never done it on the show and it's been like 2.5 years. And I was kind of thinking about that today. I'm like, why haven't we ever done
we
New
don't have
Glarus?
access to New Glarus.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I've done trades and I've gotten a bunch of bottles in the past and stuff. But for some reason, it just never struck me to do a show. And that's why I was like, on the way home today, I was like, We're gonna do a show on this.
Right on. So. And you know, and it's cool because I mean, New Glarus, they really exemplify the concept of the regional brewery. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're available in like what, 3 states?
You know what? I
like
think
that?
I actually heard our friends the Hopcast. They did a new thing called Cellars, where it's like an MTV Cribs thing, but for Cellars.
I saw that, yeah.
It's been in the works for like as long as I've known about the Hopcast. But I think I remember Ken saying that they only distribute in Wisconsin because he had Spotted Cow on tap and he had to drive to Wisconsin to get it.
Yeah, that could have been just the keg though, because I think they do sell some of it in Minneapolis.
Do they?
Pretty sure.
Well, I don't know.
I'm not going to go on record as stating that.
Well, either way, we'll get corrected.
If you want to correct me, that's cool, but do it nicely.
Yeah.
I can't take any more.
Blame Ken.
But anyways, I mean, they're
Or Canada.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Canada.
Blame Canada for
Canada
everything.
has nothing to do with this. Canada's like, what the fuck? Carry on, man. Sorry.
Yeah, but no, I was gonna say it's cool because I mean they're a big brewery, you know.
Oh yeah, totally.
For craft brewery size.
They could totally distribute nationwide if they really wanted to.
Yeah, but I mean they keep everything local. From what I understand, I mean, you know, Spotted Cow is as easy to get out there as water. You know, I mean, it's everywhere.
Right.
You know, so I mean, and I just think that's really cool how they've really stuck to their guns. How they've really they are really making absolutely sure that they can, you know, fulfill their requirements as far as
but I think that exclusivity kind of thing has also helped keep them extremely sought after as well.
That's true too. I mean,
because even when you go to GABF, it's not like they bring 50 kegs of beer to GABF. They bring like a few cases of bottles, and they're usually done within like an hour. As soon as people show up, there's like this huge freaking line to the new Glarus thing. And if you're not in it right away, you're not getting any of those beers today because they're gonna be done, and they pack up and leave. They're like, peace out, we're going to party.
But then again, you also have to consider that, you know, if they're not going to be distributing anywhere outside of Wisconsin, it's one of those things. It's like, here's a special treat, but it's not.
Right. It's almost like they go to GABF because it's like it's GABF.
Yeah.
We need to go.
Yeah, they're like, you know,
but we don't need the advertising.
You know, for so yeah. Like that. But yeah, and you know, they're doing well for themselves. You know, where they are. But I think that's really cool. You know, I think it's cool that they're really concentrating on, you know, their area, and they're doing very well.
I've seen discussions online and stuff, and with people who are very much starting like this movement within a movement, so to speak, where they're like encouraging breweries to become that way again, like to become super regional, where it's like they're only distributing in their area and their local breweries and whatever. Yeah. And there's a part of me that kind of gets behind that and says, yeah, that's kind of cool. You know, it's like, do it for the local people or whatever. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, nah, it's a business. Be a business, expand. Go forth, become many.
But, you know, it's also one of those things, I don't know, I think that if you're able to, you know, stick to your area and do it really well, I think there's a lot of value in that. I mean, you know, Three Floyds is another prime example of that. You know, I mean, they're in like what, 2 states, but they're like legendary.
Yeah, I think
yeah, I think they're only.
I see them in specialty bottle shops, but I think a lot of those are ill-gotten gains kind of thing.
Kind of an.
Yeah, it's like, I got this, and I'm selling it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you got to get around here. You got to get those beers from the over here guy.
Right.
But
what do you got in the back, buddy?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I just think there's a lot of value in that and being able to do that. So I dig it. And
are you choosing not to speak because you're still feeling guilty about last week?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I have nothing to say.
He's like, I have nothing to add. I'm just drinking this beer.
Letting it flow.
Yeah, I'm watching.
I'm surprisingly talkative considering the night that I had last night. It was epic.
Yeah, there was a lot of beers poured, and I do want to say on the show, thank you to Beechwood Barbecue. Great sponsors of our show. We appreciate that. Mm-hmm. But they also hosted us last night with David's party.
They more dealt with us.
Right. Well, I'd called them ahead of time and warned them that we were coming. So, but I mean, it's like they let me take over the stereo and play with the music we wanted to, and you know, I think they cut a lot of money off of all the bills. So I mean, they did us right last night. It was awesome.
Yeah, and they're just really great people. So
yeah. So if you're in the area, if you're not in the area, I mean, Beechwood's a reason to fly to LA. Yeah. I'm just gonna say it. Like, buy a plane ticket, go to Beechwood. It'll be the best $400 you've ever spent in your life.
No, and it's cool because they had beers on there that I had never heard of, and that I was really, really. There were a couple of beers that I had no idea what they were, and you had them. You're like, this is freaking amazing. Where else am I going to find this?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
While you're in LA, go to visit Craftsman. They make great beer.
Yeah. We discovered
A good Craftsman beer.
really great Craftsman beer. So.
Well, anyway, thank you very much, New Glarus. Thank you very much, Hopperbolic, Ben, and Dave. I miss you already.
Definitely.
I'm not going to cry again, I promise.
Again?
Shut up.
You cried?
No, there was something in my eye.
Oh, I knew you were going to cry.
Shut
You're
up.
Such a pussy. God.
I'm sorry that my heart is not made of cold steel, like some people's.
No, very...
Nobody is.
He knows that's not true.
I was going to say, I think...
Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
but
I'm going to go weep in the corner silently.
Like a pussy.
And until next week, you stay safe and drink beer.
Cheers.